Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball from Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. Game number 2 of the weekend series. It's the Cardinals and the Phillies. I learned something new last night. Al Hrabosky digs the long ball, not just the chicks, but Al too. And the Cardinals with 3 home runs as they rolled in game number 1. And now we look ahead to game number 2. How about that? Al digs the long ball. Coming from a pitcher. That's Al Hrabosky. Yeah.
St. Louis Cardinal hitters.
Oh, okay. That's the only way, right?
The only way.
That's Al Hrabosky. Jim Hayes is here. I'm Dan McLaughlin. And speaking of pitching, it's a pretty good matchup here tonight with 2 veteran right-handers.
Yeah, definitely veterans. They have over 500 starts between them. John Lackey this year, really the only problem he's had is pitching on the road. His numbers aren't very good, but this isn't a very good Phillies ball club. And Adam Harang, he's had a very good career, but he's had his problems with St. Louis. Just a 7-16 record. He's 4-8 this year, but a very good ERA, 3.25. He just doesn't have a lot of offensive support.
The cheesesteaks are here. That means we're in Philly. That means we have our first pitch and the starting lineups coming up on your home of the Cardinals, Fox Sports Midwest.
Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealers for great prices on our all-new 2015 vehicles today. Citizens Bank Park, game number 2 tonight. The Cardinals set a season high with 12 runs last night. turned out to be a laugher. 12-4 behind a 16-hit attack. Some changes in that lineup for Mike Matheny's club. It'll be Wong, Carpenter, Peralta. Then we'll see Hayward, Molina, Grichuk, Scruggs is in there. Borges is in there, and the pitcher is John Lackey batting ninth. And a strike from Aaron Harang, and we're underway.
I can see the record for Aaron Harang. Very good ERA, but 4-12. He's lost 5 straight ball games with a 6 ERA. He got off to a great start. Had a very good ERA, under 2 for first couple months of the season, but he's had a tough time. Ruiz, the veteran catcher, takes a foul tip right off the mask. Mike Matheny already getting flashbacks. Interesting how some guys wear that face mask very tight and others wear it loosely.
Or some go with the hockey style mask too.
Kind of deflect.
It's 3 elevated pitches to Colton Wong, and he grounds out to short. Handled there by Freddie Galvis for the first out. A look at the Phil's defense presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Cody Ashe in left, Ben Revere in center, and Dominic Brown is in right. Franco, Galvis, Utley, and Howard on the infield. Ruiz behind the plate. And there is Hall of Fame manager Ryan Sandberg of the Philadelphia Phillies.
He's got Harang out there, 14-year veteran. 7 different major league clubs. Cardinal fans will remember most of the time it's been his years with Cincinnati. But he's 2 behind Hamels on this staff, but he's really a number 5.
1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Carpenter. He was 1 for 1 last night, but he did have 3 walks, 2 runs scored. The 1 hit he had came with the bases loaded. He's now hitting .632 in his career with the bases loaded and 40 RBIs.
Little modest 4-game hitting streak, 6 for 12 during that time. But when you walk 3 times like he did last night, he's starting to see the ball much better now.
Here's a 1-2. Breaking ball taken low. Evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cardinals start play today at 44-23 and a 5.5 game lead over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was no hit tonight by Max Scherzer. Ruiz is saying it did not hit Carpenter, and I guess Carpenter sold it to the home plate umpire, Vic Carapazza. And so the Cardinals have their first runner of game number 2.
Looked like he might have pulled that back foot out of the way, but as you said, he's granted first base, and we need base runners, especially last night. The Cardinals had 10 walks. Wouldn't expect that many with Harang on the mound tonight.
Here's Johnny Peralta. Matter of fact, the starter last night for the Phillies, Philippe Auman, became the first starter for the Phils to allow 7 walks in a game since Paul Abbott walked 9 back in 2004.
And he got rewarded, didn't he?
He's out the door, isn't he?
He's out the door.
Thanks a lot. See you later. He has been DFA'd.
About the 24 hours, you get the phone call that you've been added to the 40-man roster. You're going to the big leagues. You're starting your first major league game, and then now you get released.
Needed innings, and they got him. 1 ball, 1 strike on Peralta. Fouls that back.
And some of our fans may have been wondering, why did Ryan Sandberg leave him out there? He had 106 pitches in just 4 innings. Gave up 6 runs. But the fact is, they told him, we need innings. Our bullpen is depleted.
Here's a 1-2. Season highs in both hits, 16 last night, and walks with 10. And the previous high was 7 against these Phillies back on April 30th. Peralta was 1 for 3 last night with a double and 3 RBIs. Pulls it foul. The Phillies start play tonight. 23-46, 13 games back in the National League East.
Another big guy, Aaron Harang, 6'7", 261.
And a 1-2 pitch to Johnny Peralta. Base hit into right field. Carpenter will stop at second base. Runners at first and second. And a chance for Jason Hayward, who is batting cleanup here tonight. The Cardinals are seeing him swing the bat well, and he moves up in the lineup.
Another pitch that's up in the zone. And you just really don't want to live up there. Pitches are a lot more hittable. 6'7", you want to take advantage in throwing on a downward plane. And remember, Harang has that good changeup. But changeup's up, or that's an easy pitch to hit.
Hayward was 2 for 5 last night with a double. First pitch to the Cardinal right fielder. Good cut. He fouls it back. Here's what you're talking about, Al, the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Aaron Harang.
Well, you think about the four seam and the sinker, that's really your fastballs. One stays up, one sinks. And you talk about the cutter, that's a pitch he's never used before. And it's something, just another look to show these guys, and the changeup has always been effective. He's lost 5 straight decisions. ERA over 6 during that time, but for the year his ERA is 3.24. So he's pitching much better than his 4-8 record would indicate.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Hayward hits it out to deep center field. Revere makes the catch. Carpenter will tag up from second to third. Runners at first and third for Yadier Molina, who homered last night. Last 12 games here in Philadelphia, Molina is hitting .488, and his career mark is well above 300, his average against the Phillies. That career now is spanned over 10 years.
Harang has allowed 7 home runs last 4 starts.
So 2 outs and 2 on. So .324 his career against the Phillies in 63 games, 6 home runs. He's driven in 32. They shade him a bit to the opposite field. And a ground ball that's hit to short. Cardinals strand 2. John Lackey to the mound when we come back in game 2 of this series. Bottom of the first, the Phillies lineup with Revere, Utley, and Franco, Howard, Brown, Ashe, Galvis, Ruiz, and Aaron Harang. John Lackey making his 14th start. Al, you talked about it in the open. He has struggled on the road, but for the most part, he's pitched well.
He has, and he goes out there, takes the ball every fifth day, gives you that solid effort. He's a real competitor. His last win over Philadelphia was back in 2010, a 12-2 win at Fenway Park. Pitched 7 innings in that game and gave up just 2 runs. We'll take that score again, wouldn't we?
Yes, we would. Here's Ben Revere, who's hitting .279. No home runs, 16 RBIs, very good speed at the top of their lineup. And the first pitch by Lackey. Strike one. Congratulations to some Cardinal fans, 2 of which we know very well, Dennis and Vicky Mathis, also Jack and Louise Donovan. They're celebrating the wedding of Nick Mathis and Beth Donovan. Back in St. Louis, Jack, the father of the bride, the general manager of Fox Sports Midwest, and we wish them all the best tonight. Congratulations, and have a great night.
Yeah.
One and 2 the count on Ben Revere. Ground ball that's hit to short and taken by Peralta for out number 1. That was Peralta throwing to Xavier Scruggs. He's at first base, Wong at second, Peralta at short, Carpenter at third. Grichuk, Borges, Hayward in the outfield from left to right. Yadier Molina is behind the plate. And that's brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Xavier Scruggs back in the big leagues. Second time he's been called up this year.
Good to see him get a chance to start and spell Reynolds, who's been playing every inning since the Adams injury. Chase Utley. There you see Scruggs, but a few years ago, Chase Utley is one of the best players in the National League, and he's really struggling now.
2 balls and no strikes. Remember at the time when we saw him come up, it was against the Cardinals, and the Phillies, who really liked Placido Polanco, moved him over to third base to clear the way for Utley. And a ground ball hit sharply to second, taken there by Colton Wong for out number 2. You may be asking, what does John Lackey feature? Here it is, the Hyundai pitch arsenal.
See the 4-seam, slider, the sinker, the curve and the changeup. But he just kind of gives you a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Just try to keep the ball out of the middle of the plate and try to get you out on the first couple pitches he makes.
Franco is at third base. He was 2 for 5 last night. I think in just watching him briefly in a batting practice, watching him take ground balls, his arm, you can see why the Phillies are high on him. One of their top prospects as he swings through that off-speed pitch. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, he came up and he really came up on May 15th. He was hitting .355.
Line drive into right, but there is Jason Hayward. So a 1-2-3 first inning for John Lackey. It'll be Grichuk, Scruggs, and Borges coming up. And every Cardinal home run in this game raises $12,500. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org. Aaron Harang, we've seen him with Cincinnati. We've seen him at a variety of places and stops along in his big league career. Cincinnati, San Diego, the Dodgers, Atlanta, and Philly.
Originally signed with Texas and then was traded to Oakland. Originally got to Oakland and then very early went to Cincinnati. 2007 he was 16-6 and fourth in the Cy Young voting.
Grichuk with a home run last night and a fly ball into right. Leaping Dominic Brown for no cause because that gentleman just made a very fine play.
And he's a Phillies fan. These two veterans, they have 540 decisions. You see both of them in their 300s and their starts. He's 10 games under 500. Lackey has 157 wins, and they both work quickly.
Here's a 1-1. This is the 29th time the Cardinals have seen Aaron Harang. Been with 8 different teams, as Al mentioned, so we've seen him with 5 of those 8 teams. Most starts he had with Cincinnati when he was their opening day starter a couple of times. He made 23 starts against the Cardinals in that uniform. If you're wondering, among active pitchers, the one that has faced the Cardinals the most is Bronson Arroyo with the Diamondbacks, 37. That swung on and missed. The pitch that's up.
Now you see a pitch up in the zone. You get that ball down and on the middle half, and you will have a different result with Grichuk.
After Harang, it's Homer Bailey. He has faced the Cardinals 21 times, and Johnny Cueto. Xavier Scruggs looking for his first hit of the year at the major league level. Got off to a really good start in the minor leagues.
He's always shown power in the minor leagues. He's hit .251 this year with 14 doubles, 11 home runs, and 35 RBIs at Memphis.
Here's a 1-1. Showed you in the open, Harang has had issues against the Cardinals. Just 7 wins, 16 losses. That misses outside, 2-2.
But he's always competitive. You know, he's got 10 quality starts this year, 35 if you go back to last season and this year combined.
Strikeout of Scruggs. Back-to-back Ks, 2 tonight for Harang. Let's turn to Al Hrabosky's Toyota keys to the game.
Well, one of the things is Lackey has to be careful early in the count. On the first pitch he throws, batters are hitting .353. 0-1, they're over 300, and 1-0, they're 300. He pitches one of the fewest pitches per inning because he's throwing so many strikes. And Harang, you got to go out there and you got to take the same approach you had yesterday, but you do expect him to be in the strike zone, but he's going to work on the corners, and we've seen a lot of pitches up, which is dangerous in this ballpark.
That's what I've noticed. I mean, you look at the first batter of the game, the pitches that were up on Wong. He struck out Grichuk with a fastball up. You see what he's done here at home, an ERA that's under 2. 1 ball, 1 strike on Borges.
And this is a ballpark that gives up a lot of home runs. So
you bet.
Pitching up can be dangerous here.
With the Phillies going nowhere this year, you would have to think there are a lot of teams that if they're in search of pitching would take a hard look at clearly Cole Hamels, the biggest name out there, but also potentially Aaron Harang.
Especially when at the end of May, as his ERA was at 2. But if he gets back on track, you're absolutely right. And some people wonder too, that are the Phillies asking way too much for Cole Hamels, asking for a lot of prospects in return, when there's going to be some top-notch pitchers on the free agent market a year from now. And sometimes maybe some of the critics of the Phillies think they're being a little bit too greedy and think they're going to set their sights too high and might end up with nothing. They do have them under contract, but it's a lot of money.
3-2 pitch. Borges to short. Pair of strikeouts and a ground out against Aaron Harang in inning number 2. There's no score. On regional cable. Jimmy Hayes, what do you have for us?
I don't know if that's true. I know you like to say it. Mark Reynolds not in the starting lineup tonight. He gets a well-deserved breather. Reynolds had started 21 straight games ever since Matt Adams went down with that quad injury. Reynolds told me when Mike Matheny told him last night he was getting today off, Reynolds told Matheny, quote, deal. Mark says if he were younger, he would have argued, but Reynolds told me right now he's tired, his legs are sore, and a day would do him some good. For the record, Dan, Mike Matheny told me it wasn't as easy as that. He says Reynolds did try to argue his way back into the lineup. Either way, Reynolds needed a breather.
How has he adapted, Jimmy? I've talked to Mark about it, but from your conversations, from being a bench guy to now an everyday player.
Well, I mean, he's been a starter before, but he said at this point in his career, at this age, he does need a breather every now and again. But he said with this team in particular, Dan, and we've seen some of it, he said there's a lot of guys on base, and he doesn't want to squander so many run-scoring opportunities, so he has changed his offensive approach. We see him going the other way. We see him being a little bit more selective. He told me he doesn't want to be a one-trick pony.
So Reynolds not in that lineup tonight. Thank you, Jim. Lackey gets the strikeout of Ryan Howard.
Mike Matheny also talking about that play that Reynolds made last night at third base that made look really easy, which really was a very, very difficult play. He also said that Reynolds constantly is telling Mike that, you remember, I was a shortstop in college, trying to lobby for some more playing time. He's getting enough, I think.
Dominic Brown chops it to first. Scruggs. Wasn't an easy play with that in-between hop there.
No, and he kind of was caught in between, didn't know whether to continue to try and take it off the shoe tops or lay back on it. And he laid back on it, but got a hop he could handle.
brings in Cody Ashe.
And of course, the ball, PFP, the ball hit to the right side. Get over.
Well, we've seen Lackey a few times be late in getting to the bat.
Exactly.
Cost him in that game against Washington. That was a loss on the road. His first inning, 10 pitches to get 3 outs. His last road start was in Colorado. That first inning, 6 hits and 5 runs. You just think about the importance of a first inning or just settling in, first pitch strikes, those type of things. But definitely on the road that first inning.
And he's had problems on the road. He's pitched well at home. Remember, he had his ERA below 3 until he had that Colorado game where he got roughed up. He's faced the Phillies 6 times. He's 2-4 with a 3.50 ERA. He hadn't seen him since 2013.
2-2. Listen in as the bench yelling at John Lackey. Scruggs will make the play. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cody Ashe. Ashe now trying to figure out where his position may be with the Philadelphia Phillies. With Franco here, good looking prospect, he's at third. Ashe is trying to learn the outfield. Three and 2 the count.
Ashe hit right at 300 in April, but 172 in 28 games since then.
That's well hit into deep right field. Hayward back, he'll look up, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia. Cody Ashe with his 3rd home run.
First home run against the team he rooted for, and I'm sure that felt awfully good. He's now 2 for 3 off of Lackey, and that was a statement there. Breaking ball, and you see it ends up right around the knees, so he saw it well and connected.
Freddie Galvis, switch hitting shortstop, 1-0 Phillies on the home run on a 3-2 pitch. Talking with Cody Ashe, he said Mike Schmidt has been huge for him, not only defensively at third, but in the mindset of trying to go through an at-bat. Think it through. What is the pitcher trying to do against me? And they would sit during the spring training games and talk about it. There's Mike Schmidt there in the middle. Ben Davis on the left, former catcher. Tom McCarthy on the right, the play-by-play voice of the Phils. But going through at bats and watching them in spring training, and he would say, well, what do you think the pitcher's trying to do here? Why? Get him to think a little bit more. They believe he can be a major league player every day.
Mike Schmidt, with all the successes he had, he's a Hall of Famer with 548 home runs. He went through a lot of trials and tribulation. He had some years that, Schmidt was such a good defensive player that when he hit 200 early in his career, he'd stay in the lineup, but it all paid off and he put it together.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. The fly ball lifted down the left field line and out of play.
The year that Mike Schmidt was put in the Hall of Fame, they had a list. We were here and they had a list of all the home runs he hit off of. And with all the times that I faced, the Phillies in all those years, I thought I had to be on that list. I wasn't, but you know who he hit the most home runs off of?
Into center field, and the catch is made.
I think it was 23 off of Bob Forge.
Really? Schmidt was 5 for 20 against the Mad Hungarian. Pitch off of John Lackey, 1-0. The Phillies. Lowe's never stop improving. We saw the offense. It was stymied a bit against Minnesota, but then came alive last night. And boy, did it ever. Season highs in hits, walks. Our Lowe's never stop improving. Here's John Lackey. The Cardinals do have a hit tonight. That was a base hit by Peralta to right field. 1 ball, 1 strike. A fly ball lifted down the right field line and out of play. I always think it's worth looking at the numbers since the deal, especially one like this with Lackey going for Joe Kelly, popular player, Alan Craig, popular player that was struggling. Allen now in the minor leagues. 1-2 pitch and a high strike. But Joe Kelly, 23 starts, ERA is close to 5. He's 6-6. Alan Craig is off the 40-man roster for the Red Sox. Hit 130 in 53 games. I just cannot understand how that happened. And John Lackey, 23 starts, and he's 8-7.
You know, it just when we think about Alan Craig, it was painful to watch how much he was struggling, and knowing how good he was just a year before. Hit Wong.
Could hear that. So Wong hit by the pitch, the second man that Harang has gotten. There's a controversial miss tonight for Max Scherzer for his near perfect game. Jose Tabata of the Pirates almost looked as if he leaned in.
Well, he dropped the elbow to.
Yeah.
You know, and of course he was padded up too. So I thought the umpire would have been within his realm to bring him back to the plate and not award that hit batter.
He still got the no-hitter, but misses on the perfect game. There's Carpenter. The rule is 6.08 paragraph B. The hitter must make an attempt to get out of the way of the pitch. It's in the rule book.
And I was telling you about Don Drysdale.
Runner is going on an 0-1 pitch, and now 0-2.
Don Drysdale had the record before Hershiser broke it for the most, scoreless innings. At one point during that run, Dick Dietz of the Giants was hit by a Drysdale pitch with the bases loaded, and the umpires ruled that he did not make an attempt to get out, sent the runner back to third, and then he got Dietz out and continued the streak to a major league record.
I'm with you in watching the game live like we were today with Scherzer. I definitely didn't think that there was an attempt to get out of the way, and if the umpire brought him back, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah, he dropped the elbow to where it would be hit by the pitch, and I mean, that's you're in the 27th out. It was a 6-0. It wasn't going to change the outcome of the game, but change history.
Howard to second, and they do get the lead man. That's Colton Wong. Notes on the no-no. First career no-hitter today. Going into this season, he had one complete game. One in his career for Max Scherzer. So now he picks up his third complete game, and his last 2 starts, just look at that. 18 innings, 1 hit, 26 strikeouts.
1 walk.
Scherzer in his last 2 starts, the 1 hit allowed in 18 innings. He himself has singled twice. Now Johnny Peralta. I'm sure that last ground ball is one that Ryan Howard would love to have back for a third base, or rather the first baseman and a lefty throwing in that particular play. That's a potential double play if the throw is on the mark.
Yeah, and that's where a left-handed throwing first baseman has an advantage over a right-handed throwing first baseman. It's an easy throw for him, and he threw it wide of his shortstop covering.
Out. Carpenter is picked off. Now Chris Maloney is going to ask them to review this. And so we're going to take a look here as Chris Maloney immediately went to Mike Matheny and said, take a look at this. So David Bell is on the phone with the video team of the Cardinals.
Reeves likes to throw. Boy, it's tough to look. It looked like he got the hand back, but it's too close to challenge.
So now we head to a break, and it's 1-0 Phillies. Off. Ruiz, the 8th place hitter, then Harang, the pitcher, batting 9th, and then the top of the lineup in Ben Revere. Difference in this game, a Cody Ashe solo home run on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd.
Ruiz now 36 years of age, a lifetime 271 hitter. That covers 9 big league seasons. I was thinking about Scherzer, his last 2 starts. That's about as close as I've ever heard anybody get to Johnny Vandermeer, who is the only pitcher to throw 2 no-hitters. But the odd thing is, you're not even on the radar with the 1-hitter. And Dan Hyatt says it's the 5th pitcher since 1944.
Breaking ball, and that's lifted into right. Plenty of room for Jason Hayward. 1 down. Join Fox Sports Midwest at Ballpark Village. It's the World Cup watch parties. Cheer on Team USA Monday. We'll be at Ballpark Village. Games, mascots, giveaways as well. World Cup watch party starts Monday at 6 with the game from Edmonton at 7.
Well, the 5th pitcher since 1944 to allow 1 hit or fewer over 2 consecutive complete games. So I guess it's been close.
You ever been to?
And Hope Solo's doing a great job.
You ever been to Edmonton?
No.
Not missing much.
But it's probably nice this time of year.
I was going to say, in fairness, I'm usually there when it's -10. I was covering hockey at that time. I bet it's beautiful right now. A strikeout of Aaron Harang, and the 2nd tonight for John Lackey. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true high definition on over 400 mobile and connected devices. MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
And by the way, Dan, A.J. Feely, who we hope has a great season with the Rams, his wife's doing a great job on the commentating the World Cup for Fox.
I've tuned in multiple times, but I must have missed her. And a ground ball that's hit to 2nd. Colt Long puts it away, and Ben Revere is 0-2. And the Cardinals, in comparison to the Phillies, it's not even close. The Cardinals with 31 wins. Their starting pitching overall, I mean, it's 16 more than the Phillies, who have just 15.
And they've set a franchise record last night with their 24th game without a win from their starting rotation.
Line drive and a base hit.
Johnny's now 13 for 35 off of Harang.
2 for 2 tonight, a base hit into right. This line drive into left. Remember, he was left standing after Carpenter was picked off at first base, so Peralta left standing at the plate, and now a leadoff hit.
Another pitch up that he just rifled into left field.
Much better swings lately from Hayward. Hit a ball hard his first time up into center field.
Danny, just look at it, the way he stands at home plate. He looks a little more relaxed. In the beginning, it looked like he had his hands so close to his chest. They're real and almost like holding his elbows into the side, and now they're out a little bit away, freeing himself to swing.
One ball, one strike.
Harang and Hayward were teammates last year in Atlanta.
You know, Vic Carapazza, you can hear him up here, but how many umpires actually say strike when they call the strike? It's usually a grunt. This one is skied into shallow right. And Vic, it's just, what am I supposed to do, Al? I mean, I'm a play-by-play guy. I rely on these guys to be efficient.
Met Vic before the game. Ron Krupa introduced me to him. And by the way, Ron is excited about got the nod that he's going to be on the umpiring crew for the All-Star game.
If you'll notice, Vic Carapazza is very good. He has been voted a couple of times as one of the best in calling balls and strikes.
You know what I noticed? Just watch the way he sets up. You know, he's a young guy. He's not afraid, but he sets up pretty much right behind the catcher, where so many of them get so far on the inside part of the plate, and it looks like they're screened and can't see the pitch away. But for the most part, he's behind the catcher.
That's ripped and fair into the corner. Peralta on his way to third. He'll score, and Yadier Molina has tied this game up at 1.
Fourth RBI for Yadi, and the Cardinals really catch a break. That ball was as close to the foul line as you could get, and then it hugged right on the line. Cody Ashe thought it was probably going to kick off the side wall, but it didn't. It just runs right along the side of it, and so he had to go dig it all the way out in the corner. So Peralta had to hold up momentarily to make sure it got by the third baseman and comes all the way around from first base to tie the score at 1.
So runner at second. That's the go-ahead run potentially for the Cardinals. Molina. And here is Randal Grichuk. Harang is pitching up in the zone, and he's getting that strike two from Vic Carapazza. I mean, how many times you see that? The actual strike zone from the belt to the letters?
Yeah, it's
rarely.
Much lower than when I was around.
Grichuk struck out his first time up.
We always talk about pitcher needs to pitch down, but if you pitch up above the strike zone, you know that's going to get swing and misses or pop-ups. At the top of strike zone, you can get hurt. This could be a good test for Grichuk. You got a veteran out there that's got good secondary pitches, has the ability to spot his ball pretty well. And Grichuk has some holes in his swing, but if you miss, he can hurt you.
One and two.
Set up away. He's trying to bring him back, but it was so far away, it was easy to know it was a ball.
Here's a 1-2 pitch to Randal Grichuk. Next delivery will be pitch number 60 already. Rang has given up 3 base hits. He struck out 3.
Good cut. Talked to Larry Bowa again today, and he was talking about Grichuk and how quickly that ball went out.
And a fly ball lifted into center. Catch made by Ben Revere. Back to the bag, Molina to second. Six is a serious number at on the run. When the Cardinals score 6, any size drink is just 50 cents the next day. Coffee, fountain, frozen drinks, all of them there. When they score, you pour at your nearest on the run. You earned it. Here's Scruggs. Struck out his first time up looking. It's sharply to Howard. Look what I found. And a flip to Harang, and that takes away a hit and an RBI potentially from Xavier Scruggs. 1-1. Score. Let's check in again with the one and only Jim Hayes.
Dan, Lance Lynn arrived here from St. Louis just before game time last night. He threw a bullpen session today. Lance is on the DL with a forearm strain, but he told me the forearm feels great and there were no issues during the bullpen. Lance told me he knew there wouldn't be any issues. He wants to return to the rotation for a start in Florida, but he says they want to recheck the forearm tomorrow to see how it responds. He says he'll know more about what lies ahead for him after they check out that forearm. But Lance, Dan, wants back in that starting rotation.
I'm assuming that your conversation with Lance Lynn was delightful as always.
He's a constant delight, Dan. You know that as well as I.
Constant delight.
Two delightful people.
Oh, yeah. Coming together like that. That's great. There's Chase Utley. First pitch was a ball. Phillies have one hit. Cody Ashe, a solo home run as Utley pops it up into shallow left center field. Who wants it? It'll be Borges. One down.
I understand Jim Hayes paid for the tea and crumpets.
What happened?
Well, Jim had, because of that conversation, was over tea and crumpets.
Oh, with he and Lance?
And Jim, you know how lavishly he
treats everyone.
Treats everybody, and always first to pull out that wallet.
Did he get you a cheesesteak the other day?
He offered me one, and I put that cheesesteak when I saw it. I put that right after Skyline Chili, so I have too much respect for my body.
You're missing out, I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm not.
Franco, tough play for Peralta. Look at this throw. Strong, but safe at first. So an infield hit for Maikel Franco.
Well, once again, you see Mr. Steady. Peralta doesn't make a lot of the flashy plays, makes all the routine, but he's capable. And a lesser runner, and he might have had this one. But see the young man, Franco, running hard down the line. I like that Scruggs did vacate the bag to make sure he caught that ball. And he tried to stretch out, but then he made sure he caught it and didn't let it get by.
There's another home run hit by Ryan Howard last night. Now 21 against the Cardinals. And so what he has done is 21 home runs, 226 at bats. That's an average of 1 home run for every 10, just about. It's the highest home run rate for any batter in Major League history against the Cardinals.
And he's got a .350 batting average. And that pace has slowed down a little bit, but he's been so good against the Cardinals. St. Louis native. Lackey he's 3 for 14 off of Lackey, but 2 of the 3 hits have been home runs.
Here's a 1-1 pitch.
He looked like he wanted this one, and Pazza, our home plate umpire, looked like he saw it and called it the right way.
A shift on here for Howard. The 2-1 is pulled foul. We talked about it a little bit last night, Al, but watching Howard run, it just doesn't seem like he's ever gotten back to being a guy that could run without pain or without a slight limp because of the injury sustained in the 2011 playoffs.
Well, you talked about it last night too, that his was not only the recovery had a problem with an infection, so he had to have a second surgery. So I think it's also a situation that Adam Wainwright is going to pay very close attention to and do what the doctor's orders. Don't come back out and try to do something too soon. You know, if they say it's going to take this amount of time, you know, let Mother Nature take care of itself and let nature heal that. Don't try and come back too soon.
3-2 pitch, and he struck him out. So for John Lackey, that's strikeout number 3. Hyatt Regency St. Louis at the Arch is offering an incredible Cardinals package this season. This is what it includes: overnight accommodations, tickets to a weekend home game, a personalized slugger bat, and $25 credit to Brewhouse or Red Kitchen and Bar. You can book today, 655-1234. Or if you're at a computer, why not just log on? stlouisarch.hyatt.com. Oh, 2 the count. Dominic Brown is grounded out to first. He's 0 for 1, and he's, I'd say, the one player that the fan base is really focused on. When you hear a lot of the boos, you'll hear it for Dominic Brown. A lot of promise with him. He was in the minor leagues, recovering from an injury. And then when he was eligible to come off that list and come back up, the Phillies said, stay back down there.
Well, you know, he had 200 plus at bats down there and only hit 2 home runs. You know, they thought he was going to come up here. He broke his wrist a couple years ago, and he hasn't been the same hitter.
Well, if you go with the Fox tracks, Vic Carapazza has been right on.
Yep, doing a good job. But, you know, Lackey's going to fight for every pitch, and so's his catcher.
The 2-2 pitch. Remember, Lackey and Molina had words in his previous start at Busch Stadium, but it was caught on camera inside the dugout. And I'm sure many fans have heard this before, but this stuff goes on all the time. It's just not always caught by the camera.
Yeah, most of the time it's down, and you know, they see something's happening, and both guys walk down underneath where it can't be seen. But and you know, and it's forgotten in moments.
It's the heat of the moment type thing.
Yep.
Curveball, and he walked him. That's the first walk issued by John Lackey. So it brings in Cody Ashe, homered with 2 outs back in the second inning. And that made it 1-0 Cardinal, or 1-0 Phillies. Cardinals then tied it up on a double by Molina to score Peralta from first. And that's where we stand right now, 1-1 here in the bottom of 4. On the ground to Scruggs, with time to Lackey at the bag. Phillies strand 2. We head to inning number 5. Place hitter, followed by John Lackey and Colton Wong. Breaking ball and a strike. And we're underway here in the top of 5. How good has Jim Hayes been tonight?
Sensational.
Pre-game, the hits. Wow.
In all sincerity, he does a tremendous job. It is very difficult.
Relationships he has developed over the years with players. They trust him. All the interviews and the time spent in the clubhouse, he does a terrific job. And the easiest part of his job, of course, for years was going in the clubhouse and visiting with Tony La Russa after a tough loss. Now, that relationship between those two, pretty funny.
But, and you know, and Jimmy.
Because Tony really liked him.
Right. And Jimmy handled it perfectly, too, and knew that whatever was said in those moments right after a tough loss was not his true reflection of what he felt of Jim. And Jim never took it serious. Or, you know, but boy, it was good TV.
Oh, it was the best. A strikeout of Borges, and that's 4 strikeouts. Friday, July 3rd, you can relive the excitement of the 1982 championship season. 25,000 fans, 16 and older, received their very own wearable 1982 World Series championship replica ring. That's not all. Stay in your seat. We've got fireworks. Presented by Cooper Tires. Cardinals.com/promotions. Lackey into right center field. And that ball is down. And he's taking extra bases. On his way to second. The way he touched the bag at first was not ideal. However, he winds up at second base and a happy Cardinals fan.
He was upset with himself that he had to go to the second base. That was his second hit this year and his 8th hit overall. 8th hit and 80 at bats. And oh no, now I have to run. And I can't stop at first because they haven't picked it up yet. So, hey, 1 out, he's out in scoring position. Tyler Lyons did a great job and helped his own cause last night.
Colton Wong with a high pop up into shallow left field. There's Cody Ashe. So here's what we're talking about. John Lackey going to first base. Oop, there.
He was going so fast he had to alter that stride.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Anybody can see that, Al. He was flying down the line.
Flying down. Yeah.
Here's Matt Carpenter, who's been hit by a pitch and has grounded out. 0 for 1. Wouldn't that drive you nuts if you're Aaron Harang? You've hit 2 guys. If you're going to hit him, hit him. He's barely grazed Matt Carpenter, if he got him at all. The back foot. Also hit Colton Wong. Barely got him.
I won't say I subscribe to this, but it's always the pitcher thinks that if you're going to hit somebody, hit them good.
Right.
Yeah, really hurt him. I was always squeamish about hitting somebody.
It's me, Al. Come on.
Okay, it was a lie.
Here's an 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Carpenter. Outfield straight away, the 1-1 taken outside.
Yeah, Carpenter went through a rough spell, but he's starting to come out of it. A little 4-game hitting streak. Came in today with 6 for 12 in those last 4 games. And we know that he can turn it on and go on to a hot spell carry this ball club.
Sure could. You'd say that about a few guys on this team. I think Peralta has already done that to an extent with his streak. The one I'd love to see is Hayward. What would happen if he got on a hot streak? And
you kind of think that Mike Matheny's trying to think along those lines by putting him in the cleanup spot today. Give him a little more confidence, reward for better swings of late.
Nice pick by Ruiz. 3-1 the count. Peralta, you mentioned the career numbers he has against Harang. He's on deck. You know Harang knows those numbers, and he's 2 for 2. So 3-1. You got to think that Carpenter's going to get a pitch to hit.
Remember, said that Harang's given up 7 home runs his last 4 starts.
Three-one pitch, hit out of play.
He's got it far enough inside that he couldn't really get his arms extended.
Three and two the count. Now Harang steps off the pitching rubber. Three-two pitch. And Carpenter draws another walk in this series. Let's give you our what's on tap while we have a moment. Peralta will dig in with 2 runners on and 2 outs. Wacha and Morgan tomorrow. Morgan making his major league debut. Michael Wacha is 9-2. And we'll come your way tomorrow at noon right here on your home of the Cardinals, Fox Sports Midwest.
Adam Morgan, a left-hander, only 25 years of age, coming off of Tommy John surgery from a year ago.
Has not won a game in the minor leagues this year.
Not won a game. His minor league record is not good at all. I asked Larry Bowie, I said, if you're the owner and you sit there and say, you know, okay, we deep down in our farm system, the best we can come up was a guy that he hadn't won this year. And he goes, no, the best we have in our farm system was the guy yesterday. This guy's second best.
Well, the guy yesterday is no longer in the farm system. Matter of fact, he's no longer a part of the Phillies organization.
But Larry did say that, man, Adam is a good kid. You know,
That's pulled foul. $13 for 35 against Harang.
It's after his 2 for 2 tonight. Johnny very relaxed, just his second season with the club, you know, just even more of a leadership role.
Doesn't chase. I mean, that pitch right there, isn't that a guy that is pretty locked in, Al? When you see he doesn't really even offer at it. Recognition.
Right.
Those kind of things.
You know, he sees you got such a split second to make that decision, but he sees that it's outside, it's a breaking ball, the spin is going to break further off the plate.
Hit to short, and Peralta is retired. Cardinals strand 2. Good ball game. We're tied up. It's 1-1. The bottom of the 5th. The T-Mobile game changer. Well, first pitch strikes, and the highest percentage coming into play today. Max Scherzer, I guess it's worked for him. No hitter today. John Lackey. Now, those are guys that win a lot of games right there. Some of the best pitchers in baseball.
And tonight, Lackey is 12 of 15 first pitch strikes. I put in our Toyota keys that he's got to be careful, with those first pitches, because it's getting around the league. They know it too. On an 0-0 count, hitters are hitting 350 against him. 0-1, 1-0, they're still over 300. But that's why he has efficient innings, because he's throwing strikes and trying to get guys to pitch to contact.
Freddie Galvis, Carlos Ruiz, and Aaron Harang, 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup for the Phils. John Lackey has made one mistake tonight, and that was a hanging breaking ball to Cody Ashe on a 3-2 pitch for a solo home run. That's been about the only damage you can really say that he's experienced tonight. Leadoff base hit for Freddie Galvis.
Another first pitch strike, but here it drops down a perfect bunt. Not much chance for Carpenter. He did a good job with it, but he deadened it just enough. Carpenter had to come in. He barehanded it, but beats it out.
He's got eye black under
Just
one eye.
One eye.
Can't say I've seen that before.
No, I haven't either.
It is nighttime too.
Well, some guys have a problem with the moon. Glare. Maybe it's a full moon tonight. Boy, stole that off a Lackey. But the foul ball, Ruiz didn't pick it up. That it might have been a hit and run on there, but let's see. Eye black on one eye. What's Ruiz got in his mouth?
No balls and a strike.
What's going on over at first base?
Well, Al, there's certain things that you can count on in the game of baseball. Guys will spit, sunflower seeds, and sometimes you have to adjust.
Or protect yourself.
Sometimes there's protective gear that needs adjusting.
Or you just take it out and put it in your back pocket.
And apparently that's what's just happened.
We haven't seen that too often either.
I'll tell you what, there was a squirrel here last night. Eye black under one eye. Removal of protective gear at first base.
What's he got in his mouth?
What's going on out there? Here's an 0-2 pitch. Lackey would love the ground ball and double play as time was granted late. That'll put Lackey in an even better mood.
I like pitchers that pitch with an attitude.
So you like John Lackey?
I like John Lackey. You know he comes to compete. Nobody's going to question that when he's on the mound.
Curveball and a line drive into right. Hayward a diving catch and takes the hit away.
Well, we've seen him use very good judgment. The two-time Gold Glove winner. He won his second one last year, and several times he's left his feet and took a chance, a risk. If the ball gets by him, the Phillies score. But comes out here and makes another very good play. See the concentration. Play he made in St. Louis where he couldn't see it. It was
tremendous.
Tremendous, yeah. And
saved the game.
Well, think how helpless you are. You lose it in the sun. And
Harang bunts it towards first. Scruggs will get the shore out. That's to Wong. And Galvis advances to second base in scoring position for Ben Revere. Well, they're laughing because of the adjustment situation that Galvis just had moments ago. Sacrifice is good, 3-4. Here's Ben Revere, who's 0 for 2. He's grounded out to short, also grounded to second base. Good curveball. So how do you motivate this Phillies team, Al? You're Larry Boa, you're Ryan Sandberg, coming to the park every day, knowing you're undermanned. What do you do from a coaching perspective?
Boy, it's a tough deal, and I think you got to see. We've seen them come out here and do all kinds of fundamentals. There's more teaching done at the major league level now than ever before, but it's very difficult when you don't have the pitching staff. And their problem is they have a quality bullpen at the back end. Their problem is starters and a depleted farm system. The front office waited too long to break up the ball club. They've kept guys around too long. You know, it's a risk you run that you fall in love with your players, and then all of a sudden you can't get rid of them. They're still not, they're not as productive as they once were, and they just can't trade some of the guys because of the big contracts, and then probably asking too much for the pieces that are tradable. Like I said, what happens if you don't trade Cole Hamels at the trade deadline?
Or Papelbon.
Or something like that. But particularly, say, next year, some of the clubs that would take him, even if they wanted to rent him. But there's going to be some big free agent pitchers out there next year that are going to be available. And maybe even in the offseason, the asking price goes down. Because another year off his contract.
My understanding is in the lower levels of their system, they do like some of the pitching that they have. They think it's got a chance to be good, but still nowhere close to major league ready.
And Dan, how many times we hear a phenom in A-ball?
Yep.
And maybe gets a double-A or so, but
it's a shattered bat. Scruggs will take it, and Ben Revere is retired. Sixth inning rolls in when we come back. That means Busch Stadium. Watch the Cardinals take on the San Diego Padres. Saturday, July 4th. 25,000 fans ages 16 and older receive a one-of-a-kind camouflage print Cardinals jersey. You see Randall Grichuk have it there. It's courtesy of Ford. Where do you get those tickets? At Cardinals.com/promotions.
Where again?
Cardinals.com/promotions.
Thank you.
There's Jason Hayward, 0 for 2 in the cleanup spot tonight. Phillies and Cardinals back to the regular look of their uniforms with the names on the back. Last night, the names not featured. Throwback unis to the 1960s. Also, the number on the front for the Cardinals was not a part of the uniform, only the number on the back. Any story as to why you had 39, or is that just the number they gave you?
Well, I came up in June, and the guy that had it, I'm thinking of him in a second, but he was wore 39, and then they traded him, created a roster spot for me, so just took his uni.
Base hit into right.
George Culver.
Hayward has hit the ball twice hard tonight. Leadoff single here in the 6th inning. More times than not, there's usually a story behind the numbers that are given to the players.
Well, it's usually the stories come after, after you get your first one. First one, you're just happy to get a number, but then as you get traded to another ball club or sign as a free agent, guys like to keep their number. So you get some of the interesting payouts for the trade-off.
Two veterans that are the backstops of their team, Yadier Molina, Carlos Ruiz. Guys that are moving up in that games caught, innings caught list all time for their respective franchises as well. Ted Simmons still the leader for the St. Louis Cardinals. Check on Hayward.
When it's all said and done, Yadi will pass Teddy probably. We're all hopeful of that. And Ruiz at 36. They're starting to trying to look for their replacement for him.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Now time is called. So here it is. Simmons over 12,000 innings for the Cardinals. Then Molina, Tim McCarver, and Tom Pagnazzi. And for the Phillies, Lieberthal, Boone, Dutch Dalton, and Carlos Ruiz. Runner goes and works to perfection. Hayward, though, will stop at second base. If he's not running, that's a tailor-made double play. Instead, the Cardinals have back-to-back hits and nobody out.
Good night for Yadi. Another multi-hit game, 2 for 3. See the run-in, the shortstop vacates his area and covering second base, and he hits it right there. So good execution right there, and the Cardinals have a great shot here in the 6th with nobody out. Key at bat is going to be Randall Grichuk.
He has struck out and flied out. Inning started with a base hit to right field for Hayward. Base hit to left for Yadier Molina. That pitch in the dirt and kept in front by Ruiz.
You see the Phillies are almost wondering, or at least on that first delivery, they were wondering if the bunt was going to be on. Franco was playing even with the bag. Shortstop was trying to keep Hayward close, and then retreat back to his position. We've seen Grichuk pull a lot of balls to the left side. And with that shortstop playing, it could go through for a base hit easily.
1 ball, 1 strike. I don't know about you. I would certainly like to see Grichuk swing away in this case.
Yes, I would. He's one of those guys that long ball potential. He's a young hitter, but this is one of the situations they're showing confidence in him.
1-1 pitch. Did not go. It's Brian Knight down at first. He'll be behind home plate tomorrow.
Pretty close right there. But Grichuk 0 for 2 tonight. He was 3 for 5, including a 4th home run last night.
The 2-1. Grichuk with a fly ball into deep right center field. Will it carry? Gone! Way out of here. A bomb off the bat of Randal Grichuk. 3-run homer and the Cardinals' first lead of the night.
I think we made the right choice. Let him swing away. And that's what is exciting about Randal Grichuk, is the ball jumps off his bat. His 2nd home run in 2 nights, his 5th. His ERA, or excuse me, his RBI is up to 17. And boy, the pitch up, out over the plate, and he's strong enough to hit it out of any part of the ballpark. Wow, off the back of the bullpen wall.
Xavier Scruggs to short. First out here in the top of the 6th. Grichuk a home run last night, and this shot into right center over the 398 sign and to the back wall of the Phillies pen. They had to clear out there.
See, it kind of lays the bat a little flat, getting him quicker to the ball.
It's a great shot. You see the reaction of Carpenter and some of the bench behind there.
Well, you know, we talk about every night that he's going to go through growing pains, but the risk is so much, is definitely worth the reward. And the reward is worth the risk.
Watch the reaction of Matt Carpenter. The Cardinals dugout. Oh, my. Great shot. A strikeout of Peter Borges. 0 for 3 tonight with a pair of Ks. And the hitter will be John Lackey. It's how the ball comes off the bat.
Yes.
It's not just, you know, some guys that are power hitters, they hit those high towering home runs. Grichuk, and we talk about this with Holiday, more of a line drive that just happens to carry over the wall.
Yeah, get great. The speed of the ball coming off his bat is always impressive.
John Lackey with a double into right center, first time up, or rather his 2nd time up. He's 1 for 2. Cardinals pitchers this series are 3 for 4. A double, a walk, and an RBI. Now 3 for 5. Randal Grichuk. One swing of the bat puts the Cardinals on top here in game 2.
second in 2 nights. The Cardinals take their first lead, 4-1. John Lackey, who's trying to win his first game on the road this season. 7 starts. He's 0-3 with an ERA over 6, but he's pitching well tonight. He's only allowed a second inning home run to Cody Ashley, the St. Louis young man. Since that time, he's only allowed 2 more hits, and both of those have been infield singles. So Cardinals have a lead. Got to go through 2, 3, and 4 right here. A lot of efficient innings, so really Lackey goes out there and never gets his pitch count too high. 67 pitches through 5 innings.
Still marveling at that home run from Grichuk. Got out of here in a hurry, a 3-run homer. Now 4-1 Cardinals, home half of the 6th. And there's another first pitch strike.
Kind of flips that little breaking ball in there for a strike.
179 the average right now for Chase Utley. Shallow center field. Peter Borges. I mean, just to give you an idea how rough a season it's been for Utley. His season high average was 207 back on June 2nd. Since that time, he is 4 for his last 49, and that includes an 0 for 3 tonight.
Well, he started out 9 for 91, an 0.99 through the first 26 games of the season. Then he went 342 over the next 22 games, and then, like you said, just 4 for 49 in his last 16 games. And in my mind, a few years ago, Chase Utley was one of the premier players in the National League.
No doubt. Base hit into right. Michael Franco. Arcia in the driver's seat. And this is the fewest runs per game, 19-15 since that time. And look at that. Those are some great teams on that list. Will the Cardinals be another in 2015?
I think about 68 had Bob Gibson's 1.12 ERA for the season. So that pulled that one down quite a bit. But this club has been winning on pitching. Got a ton of offense last night. And if you score 4 runs, you should win the ball game. And the Cardinals' record does indicate when they score 4 runs, they're a winner. But it's the pitching that has kept this team in it.
You know, Al, we were talking about hanging with players too long, believing that they can bounce back one more year. Maybe we can just get one more year out of Utley, one more out of Rollins. Here's a 1-1 pitch now to Ryan Howard. 2 players in the National League who qualify and are hitting below 200. They qualify for the batting race, so enough at bats to do that, and are hitting under 200. I find this shocking. Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins.
Jimmy Rollins.
The only 2. Two and 1 the count.
A lot of people think Rollins will break out of it because he's playing on a winner.
Jammed him, popped him up. Long way to go in left field. And with the shift on, no one there.
You know, we take an aging player and you put him in a pennant race, or you put him on a winning ball club. You know, they kind of, kickstart him a little bit, get whatever's left of them. Kind of that was the situation with Lance Berkman.
Carlos Beltran to an extent.
Exactly, but if you're on one of these teams that's in last place and just really struggling, it's hard for even a veteran guy to keep that fire burning in the belly, the desire to go out there and make a difference. Two is hit sharply but foul. And that's what happens too. You know, you don't catch the breaks that you did earlier in your career. Ryan Howard, you can still say there's no Cardinal pitcher that feels comfortable when he's in the batter's box with what he's done against his hometown team.
Two-two. Out to right field. Hayward back in. Just enough room on the track to make the catch. And Franco is back to the bag at first. Monday, our coverage of the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup continues. Alex Morgan and Abby Wambach, Team USA, continue their quest for a third title. They'll take on Colombia in a win or go home matchup. Coverage begins at 6 on Fox Sports 1.
Like those outfits, don't you?
You were telling me last night you're a big fan of those.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I ran out and got June an entire ensemble of the girls' outfits. Must say they are a lot more attractive than they were 20 years ago.
You said, though, you didn't...
I didn't get the spikes.
You left those out.
I thought she might use them on me.
She's been working with your grandson, right, in the backyard with soccer?
Oh, yeah, the soccer. Got the net up. I have, Dan, on a serious note, being from California and my age, never knew anything about soccer. But watching Wes play the last couple of years, yeah, I can understand why kids love it. He's got a great coach that even gone to practices and watched his coach. He's from Ireland and soccer player, and he puts these kids through drills and everything, and I've really seen them learn. But then June works with him at home when he comes over to visit.
0-2 pitch. 1-2 the count. Brown is grounded out and walked. Two and two.
And that's still a great defensive skills and how he blocks that. Use the glove to protect the hole between the legs. Almost throw your chest at the ball to get the ball to bounce it on the chest protector. Keep it right in front of you. Brown has hit a home run off of Lackey. He's 1 for 7 in his career.
Well, these fans right now are in a frenzy. Now we have 4 balls in this game.
Pitch up high, all 3. I'm going to see if I can take a walk. Oops.
So 3-2 on Dominic Brown.
They let Jason Worth walk to create an opening for Dominic Brown.
3-2 pitch.
was born in Florida, but here's another Georgia kid. Went to high school at Redan High School in Georgia. How many young men, that great run of the Atlanta Braves going to postseason, what, 12, 13 times in a row, and just turned on the youth of Georgia. They're all over the place, aren't they?
Tying run will come to the plate.
What Lackey wants to do after his team just got him a 3-run lead. With their 2 outs, he wanted that pitch there, but second walk of the night, both of them to Dominic Brown.
Cody Ashe has a home run on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. That put the Phillies on top. Cardinals came back with an RBI double from Yadier Molina to tie it up at 1-1. And then a 3-run homer by Randal Grichuk. That's strike 1. (20 of 24 first pitch strikes for John Lackey). Popped out. Peralta. And the Phillies strand 2. It's 4-1 as we head to the 7th. Ruben Amaro is taking a hard look at that guy now. Top of the 7th, and this is a Honda home run inning. The Cardinals player hits a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Elvis Arahu with Reading this year. In the minor leagues, he was 1-2. 4 earned runs in 7 appearances. 13 2/3 overall in innings pitched. And this lefty will come in to face Colton Wong, Matt Carpenter, and Johnny Peralta. So the night for Harang is through. Gave up 4 runs, and he's on the hook right now.
It's going to be, what, 25 games since the starter without a win.
Continue their franchise record.
Yeah.
How about that? 25 starts in a row without a win recorded by the rotation. Wow.
And we said it before, you know, they got a very good back end of the bullpen. You know, Papelbon, Giles, but can't get to those guys. And nothing more demoralizing, always being behind.
Where will this team be And we're not that far away from the trade deadline if you get rid of Cole Hamels, who gives you that legitimate shot, and Harang too. You know, if you trade those two guys off, you're looking at a 100-loss campaign, at least.
And, you know, I talked briefly with Ryan Sandberg, and you know, here's a Hall of Famer that's showing great patience and restraint. But can't fault him. You know, he's come here and really doesn't have the personnel. Larry Boyle was saying something and really paid a compliment to the Cardinals. That, you know, we hear about the Cardinal players, and he said that something today, it's even more important to have character than even.
Base hit into right for Colton Wong.
Good to see that against a lefty, but it's more important to have character than talent today. And the Cardinal players play as a unit. They play together. They play as a team. Where you can have talent on clubs, but they just don't play a cohesive game where they're together. And he was just saying that, you know, the Cardinals, it's not a mistake that they win and are competitive year after year after year. It's the style of people that they draft. They look into the backgrounds. They want to know what kind of people they are. And of course, you know, they'll help educate, and they got to have the talent to begin with, but they'll get the most out of them.
Starts in the minor leagues too.
Yeah, it does. You know, but I mean, I think this, like he was saying, the type of people they draft, they do such a good job of looking at the, you know, getting to know them and what kind of people they are, and if they don't fit a certain mold, if they're talent, they don't want them.
0-1 pitch to Matt Carpenter. Wong, the runner at first base. 0-2. Pretty basic fastball slider for this lefty, the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Araujo.
And of course, you could do that out of the bullpen because you're never seeing a guy more than once. If you have to get a guy out 3 times a night, 4 times a night, you need more pitches.
Runner goes, that's Wong, and it's a stolen base.
6 steal and 10 attempts for Colton. This hit was only the second hit for Colton Wong on the road trip. But he steals this one off the pitcher, and Ruiz couldn't catch the ball in the dirt, but he had no chance.
Araujo is from Venezuela. Signed as an international free agent with the Indians in 2007.
I'd say he probably had Tommy John surgery. You see where he didn't pitch in 2009 or 10, and he did.
A strikeout of Carpenter. Brings in Johnny Peralta. That's rare to see Carpenter. If he doesn't drive him in, he usually will move the runner over. Matt, one of the best with runners in scoring position this year in the National League, close to 500. Peralta is 2 for 3 with a run scored. A base hit to right, another to left, and scored on the double from first base by Molina. That tied the game up back in the 4th, 1-1. Randall Grichuk, a 3-run homer. And that's where we stand right now with a 4-1 St. Louis lead. Wong is running again, and it's fouled back by Peralta. He had that stolen.
Yes, he did. And the Philly bullpen has an ERA of 3.51. Their starters are close to 5.
Here's a 1-1. Michael Wacha going tomorrow. Adam Morgan, Major League debut. Off day on Monday. And Tuesday will be in Miami. We will not have the game for you on Tuesday night on Fox Sports Midwest. That'll be on Fox Sports 1. Then Wednesday, we've got Jaime Garcia and Matt Latos. Thursday, Tyler Lyons and Dan Herron. Then back home to St. Louis.
Inside.
3-1 the count. Johnny is looking for a 3-hit night. Wong is running. The pitch is hit in the air, right side, and out of play.
Elvis is 6'6", 215. Only 23 years of age. He'll turn 24 in the middle of July. All Venezuelan battery.
Three-2. Strikeout of Peralta. So he struck out Carpenter. He's got Peralta. Wong, the runner at second. Now 2 outs. Tuesday, the Cardinals take on Giancarlo Stanton and the Marlins in a game that you can only see on Fox Sports 1. Coverage begins at 6 on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Two outs. Here's Hayward. Jason with a base hit to center field in the 6th inning and scored on the 3-run homer by Grichuk. He's also flied to center and flied to right. Keeping an eye on Wong now in the 1-0 pitch. You can see why Phillies may be high on this lefty. He throws hard.
Yeah, he throws hard, and you know, he's, like I said, still 23 years of age. He's already gone through his Tommy John surgery, so.
Two-0 pitch. Bounced up the middle, base hit. Here comes Wong. Jason Hayward, a 2-hit night. Drives in Colton Wong with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. And the Cardinals lead is now 5-1.
He's faced 3 left-handers, and 2 of them got hits off him, and he struck out Carpenter. So it's one of the things that maybe going to have to learn to spot the ball a little better. Ruiz, the way he tried to catch that ball.
Here's Molina. He has a 2-hit night. Cardinals now at 9 hits. A check on Hayward. And we're closing in on 6 is a serious number.
He's throwing, this lefty's throwing 95, 96 miles an hour. But see if that breaking ball is pretty flat. Lackey trying to win his 158th ball game. Make his record 6-4 and his first win on the road this year.
1 ball, 1 strike on Yadier Molina. A guy that needs some work out there is Trevor Rosenthal.
Yes.
May see him before this night is through.
He definitely, in my mind, has to pitch either today or tomorrow. And the couple days where he was unavailable earlier in the week, and he's bounced back for that. He's been ready for about 3 games now, but haven't had the need. But he would be over a week if he doesn't pitch tonight or tomorrow and the off day on Monday.
Cubs won today. They beat Minnesota 4-1. Max Scherzer, the no-hitter, near perfect game for Washington. And that was over the Pittsburgh Pirates. So if the Cardinals hold on and win this game, they would be 6 in front of Pittsburgh, and then looking for a sweep tomorrow of these Philadelphia Phillies as the runner goes, and that's Hayward. That's another steal.
Well, the one thing, this lefty's very slow to the plate. He's got the big high leg kick. He's tall. He's not quick. So the Cardinals are taking advantage of it.
And Al, this is also scouting too. I mean, they know coming in you can run against this left-hander. It's Molina hits it left side. Hayward tried to disrupt it, and the play is made. Let's stretch. Cardinals add to their lead. Midway through 7. 5-1. Five to 1 over the Philadelphia Phillies. John Lackey finishing up his warm-up tosses here for the bottom of the 7th. Randall Grichuk is 1 for 3. Harang went 6 innings, gave up a blast to Randall Grichuk that put the Cardinals on top at the time, 4-1. They've added another run on a Hayward RBI. It's now 5-1 St. Louis. Jim Hayes is here somewhere in the ballpark, digging up research, getting ready for the post-game interview. Al Raboski here in the booth. Not sure what he's doing, and I'm Dan. Now you're back.
Keep you guessing.
I'm surprised that on the radio side they could actually get Horton to a microphone. His Cavaliers are playing in the College World Series.
And they're losing.
Wong can't make the play, and it's a base hit for Freddie Galvis.
He's 2 for 3, and the one time he failed to reach base, he's a line drive to center.
Lackey at 92 pitches, 4 spots away from his position in the lineup.
Randy Schilt warming up in the bullpen, but I think I could get through this 7th inning and probably call it a night. He do his job. Get starters that consistently go 7 innings. That makes it pretty easy for the bullpen.
A short lead at first by Galvis. Here's Carlos Ruiz. Fouled back. Ruiz was robbed, you may recall, back in the 5th inning. The play by Jason Hayward. 22 of 26 first pitch strikes. John dropping down, and that taken just a little bit low.
All right, here we go.
1 ball, 1 strike. Two-one pitch taken low. Mentioned the Max Scherzer no-hitter, his next start will probably be right here in Philadelphia against the Phillies.
Yeah, the Phillies, after St. Louis leaves, then they got the Yankees coming in and then Washington, so it's not going to get any easier for them. Derek Willikis keeping a close eye on Lackey here. Pitch count up to 96.
Here's a 3-1 pitch. 3-2. Three-two pitch. Not running, and it's a foul ball.
And Dan, here's another situation with the Phillies. Ruiz is 36 years of age. His contract is through the 2016 season and an option for 17. So they're looking for his backup.
There's your ground ball. Can they turn 2? Wong tags the runner and out at first. What a double play by Colton Wong. Before it's all said and done, I'm telling you, he's going to be some kind of player.
Yeah, he really is. His intellect, baseball intellect, is outstanding. Here he runs at him. Galvis made it real simple for him, and then he gets the ball over to complete the double play. Back up, Freddie. Just going to let him tag you and complete the double play? I mean, little things like that.
He's got to stay in the rundown.
Yeah, stay in the rundown long enough. Just, you're out. But don't make it turn it into 2.
And Wong is there. Lackey, 100 pitches and through 7 innings. We head to the 8th. Cardinals on top. and a Bomberito Sports Update. So the third pitcher in history to lose the perfect game after 26 outs, but still throw the no-hitter. Milt Pappas and George Wiltse did that. Last night, the Squirrel made its way to Citizens Bank Park. Wait till you see this jump. Look at that. Unbelievable. Into the dugout of the Phillies, and tonight, yes, the fans were ready. The rally squirrel is here. Here's Randall Grichuk. And a new right-hander is in for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Seth Brosnan, who was just recalled today from Lehigh Valley. That's AAA for Phillies. He was 2-1 with 3 saves, 2.65 ERA.
0-1 pitch.
Did have 3 previous major league appearances with Texas, all in 2014. He was 1-0 with a 6.75 in 4 innings pitched. He was a non-roster invitee to spring training.
Here's a 1-1. And again off the mask of Ruiz. Second time he's had that happen tonight.
Breaking ball, and I said earlier he was from Venezuela. He's from Panama. So right now that breaking ball is a work in progress.
So as a hitter, you know that, and
yeah, you kind of foul it with 2. You just go up there looking fastball, and he does have 2 strikes on him, but so far we've seen it as a hanger. That's easy to adjust to.
2-2 pitch.
Another hanger.
Inside. Grichuk muscles it fair, looking for extra bases. A home run tonight, and now a double for Randall Grichuk. Leadoff double to start the 8th inning.
It's his 5th hit in 2 games here in Philadelphia.
Xavier Scruggs will be the hitter.
Let's see how Scruggs, you're basically talking about 2 AAA players. Scruggs promoted yesterday, the 2nd time this season, but his first start. I'm sure he had a start last year a couple times when he made his major league debut.
Grichuk reads it on his way to third and in there safely. Little things like that you love to see too.
Absolutely. Makes an impression not only on Cardinals, but you think the Philadelphia Phillies are watching this? Let's see him hit the ball with great force. It's 5 hits in 2 days, but just the ball gets a little bit away and hustling his way over to third base. Many more ways to score from third than second. Now they got the infield in.
Good chance now for Xavier Scruggs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield is deep and straight away.
Starting to pull down on the slider now and get it down, but
and that's a base hit into right. Nice piece of hitting by Scruggs to take it the other way. An RBI to drive in Randall Grichuk, and it's 6-1 St. Louis.
hustle there by Grichuk and get him over to third and guaranteed that ball gets by. Remember the infield drawn in, so it cuts down the range of Howard over there and gets underneath the glove and through. Now they're breaking ball, but with 2 strikes he was ready for it. Still was a little bit stayed up, and he made him pay.
Now Peter Borges, 6-1 Cardinals. Pitch taken in. Cardinals picked up a run in the 4th, 3 in the 6th. Home run by Grichuk, 1 in the 7th, and another here in the 8th. Peters had a tough night. He's grounded out to short and struck out twice. 6 is a serious number in any size coffee fountain or frozen drink. Just 50 cents tomorrow at your local On the Run. You earned it. And that hit Borges. So he's on base. Scruggs to second.
It's the third batter.
Still nobody out.
Third Cardinal hit tonight, and none of them added together would have hurt anybody. They've all been just grazes.
John Jay will pinch hit for John Lackey. His night is through.
Good job by Lackey. And the quality of the Cardinal bullpen should be Lackey's first win on the road. Move his record to 6-4.
So 2 on and nobody out. Here's John Jay. Good speed in the bases right now with Borges at first, Scruggs at second, and a base hit out to left field. They're going to hold up Scruggs, and the bases will be loaded. Nobody out. And the Cardinals are already leading 6-1. This right-hander's come back to the big leagues and greeted with a double, a single, hit a man, another single, and now Colton Long with the bases loaded and nobody out. Colton has hit a grand slam before. I believe his first home run in the big leagues was a grand slam against Kansas City.
Yes, it was. Good call by you, too.
Thank you, Al. You see where I'm going with this? I got a feeling about this.
I'll help.
You going to help me here?
Pass a little voodoo your way.
Well, we started our night telling you that Al digs the long ball.
I have to correct you again.
Cardinal long balls.
Thank you.
Two and one. Oh.
.92 with runners in scoring position. Not bad. Let's add to it.
Long with a fly ball out to left. Ashe makes the catch. Runners tag. Throwing to third, and Borges is out. Cody Ashe. A one-hop throw to third base. Run does score, and that makes it a 7-1 St. Louis lead.
We are told those are the ones that Mike Matheny doesn't mind. They're checking to see if it's worth a challenge. But, you know, get thrown out on the bases being aggressive. Of course, it helps to be a 7-1 lead. And no challenge. Borges has that great speed. Throw goes all the way through, and Franco puts a tag on him, gets him on the backside before he gets his legs to the base.
Here's Carpenter, and a strike.
And the way you graphically described that was, I think you failed your third grade art class.
I'll just pass you a note. I thought it summed up the situation. Players to watch. DraftKings, highest average with runners in scoring position this season. And Matt Carpenter 0 for 2 in the ball game tonight. 447 his average in these particular spots. What I gave to you was could be copyrighted for a hat.
I don't think it'd sell. But it could.
We'll have to keep that.
I'm going to use your investment money.
3-1 the count. 12 hits tonight for the Cardinals.
16 last night. 3-hit batters haven't had the walks they did. As we get a walk. Had 10 walks the Phillies pitchers gave the Cardinals last night. Carpenter on base 3 times today, 2 walks and a hit by pitch.
Bob McClure out to visit.
You know, Bob McClure had jet black hair when the season started.
Oh man, they're going to have some long nights here, boy, this year.
Well, there's definitely opportunities for farmhands in the Philly organization, and somewhere somebody's going to have to grab it and take it and run with it.
As you said, it can be very tough, especially with veterans when you're out of the race. You know, to come to the ballpark every day and be ready to play. But that's part of being a pro. You've got to do it. You got to find ways to motivate yourself.
You're in a pennant race. You just can't wait to get to the ballpark. If you're not in one and you've been accustomed to, like some of the Phillies, Howard, Utley, guys that have been in pennant races a lot, you know, you got to force yourself every day to get up.
Peralta with a base hit out to left. John Jay being waved in. Ashe's throw to the plate is there, and no, they missed the tag. And Jay scores.
Bang, bang play, but Vic Carpazza, home plate umpire, was right on it he didn't call it too soon. If he would have called it too soon, anticipating the play, he would have called him out. But clearly, from our vantage point on our level, he's safe just because the tag wasn't applied. Good strong throw by Ashe, second this inning. See, he never brought the tag down. He just kind of held it up, and he gets that foot across before the tag.
Great slide and great call.
Another good night for our starting shortstop for the All-Star game.
Now it's 8-1. Here's Hayward. Cardinals have picked up 3 more. Hayward has moved all over the lineup for the Cardinals. Matter of fact, he's had a spot in the lineup one time everywhere.
Even third. Yeah, so if he's been all over. Most surprising was he was the 8th, but he never said a word, just worked hard, and now he's starting to swing the bat. Brian Jordan told Ricky Horton during the fantasy camp that he always was a slow starter with Atlanta. So maybe we're starting to see him really get into a groove. And of course, coming to a new ball club, it takes a time to adjust. You really want to do actually too much usually, trying to justify why you're there and prove to your new fans that how good you are.
2-1 pitch. Hayward hits it the other way. That's a fair ball. Into the corner. 1 run is in. They'll hold up Peralta at third. It's a double for Jason Hayward. He's starting to get hot. 9-1 Cardinals.
3 straight hits, couple RBIs for Jason Hayward. And of course, when you get a little luck like that, and you're struggling, that ball goes foul. But here it's down in the opposite field corner, ball running away from him, and he just slices it down in the left field corner. If this was not such a 9-1 ball game, I'm sure Okendo would have sent Peralta and ran the risk. But 9-1, you don't want to get anybody hurt.
So here's Tony Cruz. He'll pinch hit for Yadier Molina. Tony looks at a ball in. Randy Choate getting loose in the Cardinals pen. And yesterday was one of those games that it was an oddity. 16 hits, 10 walks. Cardinals struck out 10 times. Only other team to do that, double digits in hits, walks, and strikeouts in a 9-inning game, mind you, over the last 3 years, the Dodgers.
That's Milwaukee?
Yes. Ground ball hit to second, and Cruz is retired. Sarcastic cheer from the crowd. 9-1 St. Louis. What a slide here by John Jay. Beating the tag of Ruiz. All Cardinals tonight. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm telling you, you got to try the cheesesteak that the guy makes in the clubhouse. It's unbelievable. Oh, don't give me that look. You will try it tomorrow, Al. Here's Randy Choate, our Chevy call to the pen.
And I have respect for my body.
I know you have respect for your body.
Yes, it's a temple.
It is a temple indeed.
Randy Choate appearing for the 32nd time. Cardinals are the only team with 3 relievers in the top 20 in games appeared in. And we got 3 in the top, we got 3 in the top 4 now. And Rosenthal is 1 game away from appearing for the 30th time.
I expect Choate.
Yes.
Now I've got to say, Manus has got to be on there.
Manus and Choate are at 32. Segras leads the staff with 34. And Rosenthal is at 29.
This is Pete Kozma now at shortstop, and he makes the play. Join us for Academy Sports and Outdoors Autograph Nights. The 3rd of 6 Autograph Nights is coming up Saturday, June 27th. Here's the deal. 2 current Cardinals will sign autographs in the Ford Plaza for fans 15 and under. Then 2 former Cardinals will sign for fans of all ages. Visit cardinals.com/promotions.
That's the deal, huh?
That's the deal. Here's Chase Utley. Utley, a tough night, 0 for 3. Hitting 178.
You could punish Choate and make him pitch 2 full innings. All these lefties.
As you got Franco next, hits from the right side. Then you have Howard, Brown, Ashe. You turn around Galvis.
Randy
1 ball and 2 strikes.
As you said, Randy is a situational guy, usually only coming in and facing 1 key left-hander. You expect to see him compete for the most appearances in the league. And I think he's the kind of guy, the more work he gets, the better he likes it. Keeps him sharp.
Went through the legs of the umpire, I believe. Ground ball and a base hit past Kozma. Utley is aboard. 1 for 4 tonight.
Took that little slider as it's breaking across the plate and just hit it to the opposite field, the direction it was moving.
Here's Franco, who's hitting .282, 7 home runs, 18 RBIs. And this evening, 2 hits, one of those an infield single. Joe would love the double play here. That pitch misses up and in. Ryan Howard is on deck. Two and 0. Clearly in a tight game, we would not see Choate more than likely in this spot. You might with the lefties that are coming up. But as Al mentioned, a lot of times it's one or two hitters, and that's about it. It floats in for a strike, 3-1.
Well, that's why we were talking last night, as you see Seth Maness warming up, that you could see the possibility when Lance Lynn comes back that Tyler Lyons could end up in the Cardinal bullpen as the third lefty.
And now a walk. In steps Ryan Howard. Oh for 11, 4 strikeouts. Been hit by a pitch against Randy Choate. And Randy will have runners at first and second here. The Cardinals put on the shift as Cosma's on the second base side of the bag, and that will allow Utley to get a pretty big lead if he so chooses. There's your double play. Out at second, out at first, double play. The second turn by the Cardinals tonight. Howard remains hitless against Randy Choate. Big night for Randal Grichuk, part of this 14-hit attack for St. Louis. Grichuk a homer tonight. That broke a 1-1 tie and a double. Run scored in the 8th. This right-hander is back out for the Phils.
Their bullpen,
one for the team.
Yeah, their bullpen is on fumes, except for their closers and stuff. They don't want to bring in Papelbon in a game like this, or Giles. So you could take one for the team, and then you might find you packed your bags and you're back out there, back down to AAA again, because they need another fresh arm for tomorrow.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Randal Grichuk. $16 hits last night, 14 for the Cardinals tonight. Two and two. Last 5 games, they've been outscored 47-14. We are in June. We have not hit the All-Star break. Hamels, Howard, Papelbon are still part of this team. I mean, again, I said it earlier, Al, but just think about it. You take Cole Hamels out of this rotation, who gives you a legitimate shot to win every time he's out there by himself.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you do? Goodness. Grichuk again, deep left, a 2-home run night. You bet. Randall's putting on a show here in Philly.
Randall Grichuk. Phillies might say, forget about getting 3 prospects. We'll take Randall Grichuk.
First multi-home run game of the year.
It won't be his last in his career.
Now it's Scruggs who singled to right. Hits that out of play. A long night and part of what has been already a long season and a lost season here for the Phillies.
And it's got to be tough, you know, when you just sit there and position players, you know, they got to somehow get their heads up and everything. You're a team. At some point, it's going to be the pitchers doing the job and the hitters not. But it's a rough spell right now. Talked to some people around here and said this is the worst they can remember. Said even some of the bad teams in the 90s that not as bad as what's going on right now.
Scruggs with a base hit into center. Cardinals have matched their hit total from last night, 16. They gave up 12 runs last night, 16 hits. Tonight, 10 runs, 16 hits.
Grichuk's had back-to-back 3-hit games and 3 home runs, 5 RBIs in the 2 games.
High chopper off the bat of Peter Borges, hustling down the line, and there's the first out. The last time the St. Louis Cardinals scored 10 or more runs in 2 straight games, you have to go back to 2013 at Pittsburgh, 13 runs, and then the next night, August 2nd, at Cincinnati, 13 runs. Here's Pete Kozma.
2 best teams in the Central Division. Kind of contrast today, the Pirates versus Scherzer. They were no hit. Cardinals today, 16 hits. And back-to-back 16 hit attacks.
Kozma is 0 for his last 19. Runner at second is Xavier Scruggs. 0-1 pitch to Pete. It's good to see that the guys that have been called up, not only are they being used off the bench, but they have produced. Garcia last night and tonight, Xavier Scruggs.
Mike was talking about that. You know, they get promoted because they're hot. You know, they're swinging the bat well, and a lot of times you come up and you sit.
And a fly ball lifted into left center field. The catch is made. Scruggs will tag up from second to third, and there's 2 outs. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. In steps Colton Wong. Wong has singled back in the 7th inning. Drove in a run in the 8th. Scored a run in the 7th as well. First pitch is popped up. You look at where the Phillies are now, and that's where you have to give John Mozeliak a ton of credit. As tough as certain decisions have been over the years. Albert Pujols comes to mind. David Freese. It's a tough business, but you have to do what's best for the organization. And while you'd love to hold on to certain players, you can't do that. You've got to cut the cord and move on.
Yeah, if you're talking about winning a personality contest, you keep some guys.
Sure.
If you're trying to win ball games, you have to evolve.
Ground ball hit to short. And Wong is out. And that's why John is arguably the finest GM in sports. He's done a tremendous job. 10-1. Rosenthal, so he comes in the game, gets a little tune-up here. Chevy called to the pen. Obviously a non-save situation, but he has had a tremendous start to this season. .59 ERA.
Well, it's actually been a week. He pitched last Saturday at home. Arm got a little stiff, didn't recover the way they thought it was, so they shut him down. In his absence against Minnesota, Seager's picked up a couple saves. Started feeling better, but we had a couple of these blowouts. But now you've got to get him some work. And Mike says, please be efficient so you can pick up a save tomorrow if necessary.
Dominic Brown looks at a ball. Starter tonight, John Lackey, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run. And if the Cardinals hold on, that'll snap his streak of 9 consecutive winless road starts.
It's one of those ones you want snapped.
Aaron Harang on the other side, 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned. He's now winless in 10 straight against the Cardinals.
And he's lost 6 straight decisions. That's the first time in his 14-year career that he's lost 6 straight.
Last time a Philly starter picked up a win, we've talked a little bit about this, but it was May 23rd against the Washington Nationals. That was Cole Hamels. Since then, the starters 0-15, so no wins. And the starters' ERA in that time, 5.97.
Remember, they had one game against the Nationals or against the Pirates, where it was a 1-0 loss, and that went to extra innings. They still lost 1-0. Not what you wanted to see Rosie do. Walk the first batter. Third walk for Dominic Brown tonight.
In relief, the best ERA. Villanueva part of that. But .59 for Trevor Rosenthal. There's Cody Ashe.
Cody's 1 for 2 off of Trevor.
Cody's had a nice game with a home run tonight. Also, the double play with a catch out and left, and then nearly threw out John Jay at the plate with another throw from left.
All right.
0-2.
Almost a rarity, throwing out a runner at third and home. And just learning how to play left field. But you can see he's got the throwing arm that's good enough for the outfield.
That pitch is popped up. Cruz over and out of room. Randall Grichuk with 2 home runs tonight. Last Cardinal rookie to do that was Colton Wong. Multi-home run game, and there's a strikeout by Cardinal rookie. He did that against Boston last year. Randall Grichuk is our Budweiser player of the game. 3 for 5 tonight. Pair of home runs and a double, 4 RBIs. Our Budweiser player of the game.
He's had a very good first 2 games. 3 for 5 both games. 3 home runs. 6 for 10. 5 RBIs in the 2 games.
Yeah, it's a pretty good couple of nights.
Yeah. Bet he sleep quick and want to get back here.
Taken just a bit low. Freddie Galvis. 1 ball, 1 strike with a runner at first and 1 out.
This is Rosenthal's 30th appearance, so now Cardinals have 4 guys with 30 or more. They were the only team with 3 relievers.
Back-to-back nights, 16 hits for the Cardinals.
What you love, Dan, is really it's the offense the last 2 nights has caught up with the pitching staff.
That's one way to look at it. I mean, we began, remember the Open yesterday, talking about the lack of offense.
Right. They hurt us. And Mike's been saying all along that this team is capable. Well, they showed it.
15 pitches for Rosenthal. We'll keep an eye on that.
Well, that's why they got somebody warming up. It looks like Manus is warming up again just in case. They might call him quits at 20. And with Scruggs playing behind the runner at first base, you may be tougher to turn a double play, but there's Seth.
Center field, Borges going back, plenty of room, and there's 2 outs.
He's got 3 pitches from my 20 limit. Kind of know that's what they were talking about, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
You never want to do that. You don't want 9-1, but or 10-1. You don't want to really take out your closer, but they're trying to keep the pitch count down and make sure he's available tomorrow.
Pitch taken low at 100 miles per hour. One way or another, you get the feeling this is his last hitter. Here's a 1-0 pitch.
One good thing you have with Rosenthal too is, he is a workaholic. Works out like crazy, and he's strong, and really high pitch count really doesn't mean that much to him. But obviously he'll be better and more efficient tomorrow with a tune-up tonight.
Curveball, and that's it out of play. And now the Phillies down to their final strike. Final last night was 12-4. Rosenthal trying to finish this one off. It's 10-1. And again at 100 miles per hour from Trevor Rosenthal. And a real key for him, too, will be playing catch tomorrow.
See how he bounces back. Because, I mean, he was fine last Saturday. It was the issue next day, kind of a bolt, a knot in his bicep. And, of course, here we go with foul balls.
Mike Matheny will go around and talk to every player during BP, see how they're feeling physically, where they're at, in particular with the relievers, just to make sure everything's okay. Two balls and two strikes. Back to Rosenthal, and this game is over. The Cardinals have won the series. They'll look for a sweep tomorrow, and the final 10-1. Two Cardinals home runs hit in tonight's game. A total of $25,000 was raised for prostate cancer research. You can make a donation. HomeRunChallenge.org. Home Run Challenge so far has raised over $1.6 million for prostate cancer research.
A lot of fun to see this Cardinal offense come alive and match the pitching staff. Only 4 runs allowed in the first 2 games of this series, but they've scored a ton. And they've walked away with the first 2 games. Looking for the sweep tomorrow. And with Michael Wacha on the road and his great record on the road, I'd take more chances.
Big night for Randal Grichuk. It's been a big series for the offense of the Cardinals. Lackey picks up the win, and the Cardinals look for a sweep tomorrow.